I'm Heather Vale, and joining me today is Michael Brooks, founder and CEO of Response CRM. He's also the author of Beyond Plastic, Trends in the Payment Card Industry, and Cash Disruption, Digital Currency's Annihilation of Paper Money. Michael, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Heather. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. So tell us, what exactly prompted you to start Response CRM in the first place?
It was an evolution out years in the business. I started off as a very senior member in the business about 12 years ago, working with direct response campaigns and building continuity offers for call centers. And what I found was they didn't have the mechanism to really manage an offer, but they wanted that cultivated lead. And we started from there, and then we kind of grew and grew and morphed into just the tech. About 6 years ago, we branded Response CRM and really put our best foot forward and haven't looked back.
Okay, well, obviously there's other CRM platforms out there. What makes Response unique?
Well, we think we're the best from a technology, user interface, and usability perspective. But from a core principles perspective, we have some unique methods of doing business. So for instance, we open sourced our entire support. So what we found was that clients that come on and they're doing the smallest volume need the most support, and the clients that are doing the most volume need really the least amount of support. So
does that make sense? That sounds kind of backwards.
It does, but it does make sense also, because a lot of the times the newer people trying to enter the space are not quite as experienced, or someone with more complex offer, or with just someone with different revenue expectations. They're going to have a different set of needs. So what we built with our open source pricing and our open source support was we just started training people and training them to set up sites, code sites, work our chargeback system, which is something that we have, which none of our industry counterparts have, a built-in chargeback system, and manage in all around campaign management, and especially load balance and transaction management. As the author of 2 books in the electronic payments industry, I can tell you that companies get in trouble. They feel the most pain when they're not paying attention to their merchant accounts the way they should. Those are the Achilles heel of the direct response business. But the way we price is all scalable, which is what really helps us. People can use our people a la carte. So we have all of our trained, certified Response CRM workforce. They work on our partner company, GoLance, which is a freelance platform. So our clients on Response CRM can go hire people on an hourly basis with full transparency tools to do a myriad of things. We've got people from $5 an hour to $25 an hour, all the way on up to complex transaction load balancing around the $150 an hour, which are used really rare. And we decided about 6 months ago to get rid of our license fee and our setup fee, which is really exciting. So we charge a 6 to 12 cent transaction, which is typically lower than a payment gateway in the DR space. And we also include the gateway. So we took a stance that if we do it and we treat the customer like a payment gateway, we provide the support at an a la carte basis, then they can scale up and scale down easily, where our industry counterparts, if you're doing $100,000 a month and you're spending $1,500 to $2,500 a month for your CRM, not the end of the world. That's 1.5% to 2% of your adjusted gross. That's just like a merchant account. But if you're on a 10% profit margin, that starts to really add up. And then in this business, things go up and things go down very quickly. Facebook accounts get banned, traffic's there and then it's not. And someone can easily go from a good $100,000 a month campaign down to a $10,000 a month. And then our cost, that CRM's cost goes from 1% to 2.5% to 15% to 25% of their gross. So that really hurts a company, and it makes it a lot of pressure for small companies in the DR space to do things to get traffic, to push, to maybe take traffic that is not going to be as profitable or not going to be as effective or as helpful to their business goals. So having the scalable pricing, I think, takes some of that pressure off, and having the open source support really allows our best clients to go in and just pull who they need, when they need them, and for the amount of time they need. So it helps people get campaigns out quicker and manage campaigns longer.
Okay, so basically all they pay is a transaction fee, and the transaction fee gets lower as the volume gets higher?
Our transaction fee is 6 cents a transaction flat for our CRM. If someone wants to use our gateway, it's an additional 6 cents. So your cap cost with us is 12 cents. Now, we do have a built-in chargeback system. Other people's third-party chargeback platforms. Our chargeback system, we charge $1 chargeback, and it's more automated than I would say 90% of chargeback response companies. And chargeback response companies typically charge between $8 to $25 a chargeback. And as a payment,
what? That's ridiculous.
Sure, especially if it's an $80 sale or if they're charging back a $3.95 chargeback. So and as a payments professional, I really look at that in a very delicate manner, because the way you manage your chargebacks could actually hurt you, even if you're winning the chargebacks. Winning chargebacks does not give you any favor with the processors. And like I said, electronic payments, merchant accounts are the Achilles heel of this business. Some other unique aspects of our platform, technically, we're set up to where clients can scale better with our platform by setting up their corporate structures better, round robining traffic so that they can do what they need to do to scale. And that usually means having a signer network, having all these little sub companies that you have to work with that have their own payments companies. But by setting that structure up right and load balancing transactions correctly, you can continue to hit scale, but without commingling transactions. And I can tell you, that's where people get in a lot of trouble, is when they're careless with their transactions. So we highly recommend and encourage people to look at the most responsible ways to structure, because it does not hurt their ability to scale. It just hurts. It just has high potential risk blowback. And we're seeing more and more sophisticated advertisers that are getting it and that are going out a lot less willy-nilly and a lot more focused and going, okay, I can spend a little bit more time structuring things and use this great technology to manage it a little better, or a lot better.
Okay, so what needs to be in place and solid before an advertiser considers scaling?
Okay, well, first there's integrations and analytics. So you want to know where you're sending your data to, where you're sending your customers to. So most of our clients are skin and diet, muscle, health and beauty. That's the majority of this space. There are some other kind of unique categories, but that I would say is the crux of the space. So you've got to have your manufacturing set up, your fulfillment set up, and make sure you have a mechanism to have all of your analytics from every point where you send data or you have a customer touching point set up and structured before you launch. And what we found is some of our industry counterparts will go out and they'll integrate with every fulfillment house in the world, and they'll get a lot of sales that way because it's great. The more integrations, the more fulfillment houses, typically the more relationships. We've focused on some of the bigger and some of the more effective in the industry, people that I would use if I was running a campaign. And we did deeper and more solid integrations where we spent a little more time and a little more care, and we're pulling and pushing data in a more responsible, a more transparent fashion. But on top of that, one of the smartest things I think we did was integrate with a third-party ad hoc reporting system. So even if we're not pushing data to one place to another, but you have an email platform or you have some other platform or a traffic platform or analytics platform, something that's affecting your results, affecting your campaign, our ad hoc reporting platform can source data from anyone else's API or XML and pull it all into one interface. And then talk of data affected or is affected by your initial transaction source. So you really get to drill down on those important numbers, income per customer, and effective cost per acquisition. And that's where your margin is determined.
Okay, so if someone doesn't yet have a fulfillment house in place, when they start with the system, could they look at what you've got integrated and
Sure.
focus on those fulfillment houses?
Yes. So we recommend a couple. There's about 3 that we have very strong relationships with, and we did it on purpose because all of those have their own manufacturers right next to them. So that saves on freight cost. So one of the great ones that we work with is out in Florida, and they have a manufacturer right next door. So it's not like you're buying your pills from Toluca, Oklahoma, or your skincare, and then sending that to Atlanta to get shipped out. There's time and there's freight. We go and find fulfillment houses that either have their own in-house manufacturing or very nearby on-demand manufacturing. That's what we recommend. We don't require that. We have people that do their own thing, but this is our strongest recommendation, and these are the deep integrations that we've done.
Okay, wouldn't it be cheaper to outsource to a country like China, for example?
Not necessarily, and not on a demand. So if you're starting out in this market, if you are, I will say this. So Playboy is one of our clients. They have their own men's health line. They don't sell in the U.S. They do continuity billing programs outside the U.S. For them, absolutely, because they have deep pockets. They go buy in big bulk, and they have an assembly, and they buy from various places. Their formula comes from the United States, but a lot of their bottling and other things. And they're very responsible. They do it great. They're a terrific client. But if I wanted to pop into this space, I'm not going to want to go buy thousands of bottles and staff up all this inventory. I'm going to want to go to someone that can do it better than I ever could. And we've found that you can actually get it at a good premium, especially you don't necessarily want to buy ingestibles or even really skin cream outside the country. You want that stuff to come in from a very safe, trusted, approved source in the US. And you can still find really good deals, but the best part is having it on demand. So we like to work with those types of companies and integrate deeply with those types of companies, and then pull analytics and pull data to show, hey, this maybe you're using this offshoot solution from Hong Kong, and this is how it ultimately has an impact on your bottom line. Sometimes paying a little bit more on a usage base will actually save you money because you'll have a better customer result.
Okay, so all of your chosen manufacturers have gone through the FDA approval process for all of the products that they offer?
Absolutely. Who our clients work with is not necessarily up to us, but we wouldn't go do a deep integration without someone that hasn't taken those serious steps.
Okay, so let's say an advertiser has a pretty successful campaign going on a small scale, and now they want to increase. How simple is the process of scaling up? What do they need to take into consideration? Basically, what's involved in that whole decision?
So payments aside, because they will need payments, and we work with every payments company out there, and we'll just refer them out. We have multiple payment providers that we work with. But aside from payments and chargebacks, now you're talking about traffic and optimization. Because once you hit scale, things start to change a little bit, and you look at your business solely from a numeric perspective. In DR, that's very traditional. So traffic source is huge, and when you start talking about scaling, you start talking about financing. You start talking about, okay, well, how am I going to pay for traffic? When is it going to come in and actually pay me back? And we've got some great partnerships with some great affiliate networks. One of my favorites is One Shot Marketing, Ed Hong. He'll work with people on our platform, and he'll be very flexible on the terms because he knows that if they're on our platform, they're going to get treated better. And it becomes almost a media financing relationship. So we love doing deals like that where we can bring clients to a traffic source, a direct traffic source that can get them traffic at a better value with better terms to help support their business growth. Otherwise, you take 1,000 orders a day at a $45 CPA on a step one or $40 CPA, you're looking at $40,000 a day, and it may be 60 days till you fully recoup that cost, and then your profit margin comes in. So when you work with really great players and great companies in the industry, and you've got their trust, and you can show them how they're secure, then that really helps the advertiser leverage those types of traffic sources. And that's a beautiful thing. The second part that we do is, let's say you have that diet pill, and you've cut a deal with I don't know, Brad Pitt, and you've got Brad Pitt, and you have the diet pill, and you guys are going out and you're going to launch this, and it's the best thing in the world, but you don't have any upsell. You don't have an additional back-end product, and you really need that in order to be in the black. So we have something called the cross-sell network. Transparency is paramount to our business. So we'll say, great, you've got the Heather and Brad pill. We're going to make recommendations. Here's all these other people that maybe don't compete with you, but they have similar products that can support, that would be complementary products to what you're selling. And in a true customer sharing environment, you redirect your customer to a one-click upsell page within our system where you set the transparency and the billing rules, they agree upon it, and then there's a commission that's paid from another advertiser to you. So that can help really make the difference between a profitable campaign and one that is losing money in volume.
Okay, now what if I just wanted to promote other people's products for the commission?
Be an affiliate?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's great. You make an affiliate relationship with one of our clients, and we'll happily introduce you to everybody. We've done a really deep integration with Cake Analytics. I know you know Jeff, and
yeah.
we surface their data right within our CRM, within our ad hoc analytics platform, and you can grab their offer and run with it. And that's really a simple process.
Now, if someone's moving to your CRM platform from another one, what kind of learning curve is there in learning the system?
So within our platform, there's a knowledge base on every page. We do multiple videos, and then we have a support system on tap. So like I said, we've got people that we've trained that work every day on our platform that are $5 an hour. So if you have a call center, you have somebody new you have to train, you can always have them have somebody like one of these folks go and train them. We have higher levels of support. We've got to use about $16 an hour, and that's kind of the beauty and the value of our open source support.
Okay, but what if it's one of those DIY marketers and they don't really want to hire people to do the support? They just want to get in there and get their hands dirty and learn it all themselves. Is it pretty easy?
Guys. Yeah, it's very easy. We think we have the most comprehensive and easy to use user interface. And I recommend anybody go take the Pepsi challenge and try it. It doesn't cost anything, no license, no setup fee, and there's a demo video right on our website. And then we are always adding training videos to each page. So on each page within our CRM, we integrated with Zendesk. You click on the little Zendesk knowledge base, it tells you everything you need. So a full DIY guy who doesn't want to spend $1 on support, God bless him, I love him. He can go and click on a video, and there's a video that explains how that page works. So there's as much information as we possibly can give to support people learning and using our platform. And that's the delta. So if you sign up with one of our industry counterparts, you're paying $2,500 to $3,500. And that to me, when you take that kind of money, it's a really big obligation that I have to make sure you know what you're doing. And then you're on a clock paying $1,500 to $2,500 a month. So there's a lot of pressure for you to use the system. I'm not incentivized for using the system. I'm incentivized for you to keep billing you. When you sign up on Response CRM, I only do well if you do well. If you don't do any volume and you're a DIY person, well, you know what? It didn't cost me anything. Hope you have a great day. But if you're a DIY person and you're doing well, then you're going to come back. You're going to use our open source support. You're going to do a lot of transactions. You're going to call me, and I'm going to try and help you get to Heather for more traffic.
Okay, nice. Sounds good. So it sounds like your platform is a good solution for marketers and advertisers a wide variety of backgrounds, whether they're beginners or whether they're really experienced.
That's what we've tried to accomplish, and I think yes.
Awesome. Okay, so if one of those marketers or advertisers are watching and they want to find out more about Response CRM or check out the demo, what's the next step?
Very simple. Go to our website, responsecrm.com, and you can hit pricing, and on pricing there's a 14-minute demo video. We're very transparent about our technology. Whenever we're doing updates, we try to share it as much as possible. We don't make you schedule a time to do a demo. Watch it at your convenience. And then if you want more support, you can reach out. There's a live chat right on the platform, or it's really easy to get my contact information from there. Fill out a little contact form and we'll talk.
All right, sounds great. Thanks so much, Michael, for being here with us and talking. This has been a really good conversation, and going to be getting a lot more advertisers joining up with you. So thanks for your time.
Thank you, Heather. Have a great one.
You too.